Hi guys, so I wanted to give you a little message before we get started sharing some tips and tricks on how to photograph, because in my video where I shared some of those tips and tricks, I mentioned a lot like you want to make sure your artwork is in frame, you want to take a great picture of your artwork, you want to make sure the lighting is good for your artwork. I said the word artwork a lot, and I should have mentioned that really we want to see anything that you want to photograph this week. It doesn't have to be your artwork, although that you can apply a lot of those tips and tricks to when you do photograph and share your artwork. But this week, if you want to take a picture of the outside where you are, outside in your backyard or at a park, you could take a photo of your family pet, you could take a photo of a family member. If you're going to share a picture of someone else, you always want to make sure that you have their permission to take that photo before you take and share it. You could take a picture of some objects that are special to you, your friends, a great book that you love to read, your bedroom. You could take a picture of something outside that you think is beautiful, like a plant or a flower. So be really creative and think about this week, like what you might want to photograph. And then we would love to see anything that you want to photograph and share with us. It does not have to be your artwork. So I wanted to start out the video by saying that. So let's get into the tips and tricks now, okay? All right, hi guys. So today I'm going to be sharing with you how to take a really good quality photograph using your Chromebook or your personal device. So the first step you're going to need when you're getting ready to take a photo with your Chromebook specifically, and I don't have a laptop like yours, so I'm showing you some instructions on a website that I hope will be really clear. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go down to the lower left part of your screen, and you're going to find this button. It looks like this right here. Okay, it's like a little dot. That's going to bring up your menu. Now you might immediately see your camera application when you open up that menu, or it might be hidden from you. If it is hidden from you, the second step would be to go into the search bar at the top and type in camera. Even if you type in the letter CAM, it'll find that camera application for you. And that is our step number 2, is to open up our camera application, okay? Then, once my app opens, I'm going to want to click the shutter button to take a photograph, okay? So here's the shutter button right here. And now this is hard if you're facing your camera away from you and holding your laptop. It's a little bit difficult to click that shutter button with your finger without messing up how your screen is oriented. So I'm going to give you some tips on that in just a bit when we do that together. All right, so by default, the photo is taken in landscape, which means it's taken long ways like this. So if you have a really tall, skinny piece of art and you're holding it up, you might have to get a little bit further away from the camera. So if you look down here at my little face in this screen, if I'm wanting to just hold up my artwork to take a photograph of it, that is the number one way that you could take a photograph of your artwork. It's just to hold it up in front of your camera while your Chromebook is sitting on a nice flat surface, okay? So you want to make sure that all the edges of your photograph are in your screen, and it might take a little bit of moving, like I said, up and down, back and forth, to be sure that you're getting the whole work of art in the camera screen. And you can see that while I was holding it up, if I was being really sure and careful that I was getting my whole piece of artwork in the screen, you can't even really see my face, okay? I'm making sure all 4 of my edges are in that photo frame before I snap that great photo, okay? Again, if you're holding it up and pressing the shutter button at the same time, that might be a little tricky for you. The good thing is you can take as many photos as you want until you get it right, and then submit or share the perfect picture where you have all 4 edges in and it's really straight and clear. Okay. The second way that you could take a photo is you could straighten out your laptop screen like this, where your Chromebook is totally flat up and down, and then you could turn it around and go take a photo of a great piece of art on a table or hanging on a wall. So I'm going to show you that right now. Let's go find something to take a photograph of in my room, okay? So I'm going to unplug and turn you around. All right, so now we're taking a little tour of my room, and I have a lot of artwork on the wall, so let's pick one of these to take a photograph of first. Let's say I want to take a picture of this south wind and clear sky from 36 views of Mount Fuji, okay? I'm going to check in my camera. I'm kind of peering around the front of it, and I am wiggling this laptop back and forth and making sure that all of my edges are in the photo frame before I go ahead and snap that great photo. So you can see down here in this little window that all 4 of the edges of my artwork are in frame. I'm holding up my laptop really flat so that the artwork isn't distorted. If I'm taking a picture like this, that's not a really great photograph of that artwork. Or if I'm holding it up here and looking down at it, that's not a really great photograph of that artwork. You want to make sure that your camera is really flat so that you're getting the whole work of art and nothing is being changed or distorted by your photograph, okay? Another thing you could do if you didn't want to take a photograph of a 2D piece of artwork would be to take a photograph of a 3D piece of artwork. So let's arrange some items together on a table and we'll snap a quick photo of them. Place my Chromebook so that it's folded like normal on the table, and then just sort of peer at it and see, is everything in frame? Maybe that's a little too close because it's cutting off the bottom of these watercolor bottles right there. So I might need to move some of these items further away from my camera so that all of them are in view. And again, I'm being really thoughtful about where I'm placing these items so that it fills my photograph really nicely. And I'm being aware of what's in the background, right? So I want a nice background if I'm arranging objects and including those in a photograph. I want to be sure that I'm being thoughtful about my background, that I'm not including, pieces of trash or anything that I don't want to see in my final photo. So now that I have all the objects where I want them, I'm going to snap that great photo with my very thoughtful background. I wanted these pieces of paper in the background of this photograph. If I was being really careful, I would probably move this chair out of the way because I don't really like seeing that in the background of my photograph. And then I would snap that photo, okay? And you're going to want to go through all those photographs and decide for yourself which one is the best, which one gets all the edges of your artwork in, or all the arrangement of your items in. If you are taking a photograph outside, you want to be really thoughtful about the lighting. Is it too bright? Is the light shining right in your camera? Or are you facing in a direction where the lighting is really good? You also want to be aware of lighting when you're taking photographs of your artwork. We don't want to take them in a really dark dining room. We want to turn on a nice bright light so that we can all see the great details and the color in your artwork, okay? The first thing that I'm going to do when I open up my Chromebook and get ready to take a picture is I'm going to find that little dot in the bottom of my screen. Then I'm going to either type in camera, or I'm going to find the camera application that looks like a little camera icon, and I'm going to click on that. Then I'm going to choose if I want to unfold my Chromebook so that it's flat and I want to take a picture holding my Chromebook, or if I want to take a photograph holding up my artwork in front of my Chromebook camera, okay? So just be very thoughtful about the angles that you're taking. Like I said, you don't want to be taking the photo from up underneath your artwork or your object, and you don't want to be taking the photograph from up above or looking down at your artwork or your object that you're photographing. You want to be sure that it's really flat, that it's centered in the middle of your camera. Be really thoughtful this week about how you're placing things in your photograph, okay? Then, once the app opens, you're going to click that shutter button to take a photo. Again, please take as many photos as you can until you get it right. And then you can always look through those photos and decide which one is best. Then you're going to either locate your photos in the camera app. So as mentioned, when you're in the photo app, you can click on this little photo down here. There's a man that took a photo of himself. You can click on this little icon down here and see all the photos that you've taken through your camera app. Or you can go to your files. So down here to this little round button again, you're going to go to files, and then you're going to find your images, and you're going to click on images, and all of your images will be saved under images on your Chromebook, okay? Then you can either open that photograph, You could have that open on your device so that when you're in Schoology, you can just go ahead and find that really quickly in your files and upload a shared photo of your artwork. And I'll be talking about how to crop and how to edit, change the color of your photograph in our next video. So I hope you guys have a lot of fun going around finding things to photograph, photographing your artwork this week. We are so excited to see some of your excellent photos. Bye.